Do you know how many people you are entitled to appoint when you're president of Nigeria?
Yes.
Do you know how many?
Yes.
10,000.
10,000
Yes.
appointees?
Yes. That's what. And the president, the moment you become president, you can fire everybody who was appointed before you and put in 10,000.
I'm not really in the same school of thought with this show, but I kind of appreciate the conviction and the absoluteness in which he stands his ground. You know, he's like he's one of the politicians that I've seen in Nigeria that is fearless. He's fearless. He says true to power. He's like a low ranger, So in this interview, he said a lot of things. He said a lot of things, though I don't agree in some, but he made a lot of factual statements. Coming to the presidency, saying that when the head of fish is bad, totally the fish is bad. Then about El-Rufai saying that he did not really like the way El-Rufai is being prosecuted, but he needs to be prosecuted because he has done a lot of evil. So I will leave you now to listen to this interview that was granted to him. It's very educative and very informative. And subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed. We'll see you at the end of the video to discuss more. You can drop your comment in the comment section.
Yeah? And if I have even half of that appointed by me, because the president of Nigeria is not a magician. That's the truth. But he's the chief recruitment officer of the country. He's the chief missionary of the country. If I appoint all the great people that I know, which I can find, and I know where to find them both at home and abroad, and we put ourselves to work, and I cannot deliver. I don't want to make any bogus statement that I will resign after 1 year, but I could. I'm the kind of person who can do that. And I cannot give you electricity. You understand? I may not say maybe 100%, but I know the ideas I can electrify your streets on industrial scale level electricity. Even if that is impossible, I know the pragmatic way to construct a road that will not last 20 years if the road is 300 kilometers. Because I drive on bad roads and I know it is bad. That I cannot fix schools. You understand? The easiest thing to fix are schools that have already been built. Or with all the telecommunication styles. So what I'm trying to tell you is that one man with the right idea, with the right energy, with the right vision, and driven by a mission can make all the difference in the world. There is no time, at any rate, that the law did not say. Your constitution says that of all the 250 million people, one man is the most important person, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So your constitution already took care of a one-man messiah. Because otherwise, we'll probably have a collegiate presidency where they say, go and elect 30 presidents. The law says only one man. The law has already made it constitutionally mandatory that you elect a one man that is competent. The issue is for you as the electorate to find that one man who can deliver on his manifestos, on your aspirations and expectations. And that when he doesn't do that, we'll take him out in 4 years. That's why one foolish man senator was saying that the tenure of the president should be 6 years. 16. Do you want to be under Tinubu's regime for 16 years?
Let's make progress. Do you think President Tinubu can ever, under any circumstance, win free, fair, credible election if they use it? Do you think he can ever win electoral transmission of results?
Tinubu has never and would never support free and fair election because he knew what happened even in 2023. They know what they had to do last minute so that they can manufacture the numbers that gave him the presidency. And having survived that nail biter, that's why he's front, back, center of the desire to have an electoral process that is not transparent and credible. He can't. He knows he can't. And if he could, with all the people he claimed they come to his party, I would have gone to sleep if I was in his place. If genuinely 31 governors moved over to me because I was this genius who had revamped the economy and fixed the country, I would go to sleep until election day. I wouldn't even campaign. But he knows, of course, it's all manufactured.
There's some out there, quite a lot, who believe that 2027 election, is the last chance. I've spoken to so many highly informed people who believe 2027 is Nigeria's last opportunity to rescue this democracy from total collapse.
Yes.
Do you share the same sentiment? Or it's already too gone?
See, Nigerians are very interesting people when it comes to using hyperbole. They will say this is last. But the question you should ask the people who say it's the last, what are they doing to make it the last? That's where the gaps are, right? They're not doing anything. And some of them are probably, as soon as you leave the place, on the other side saying, don't mind these people. Because it's about what they can benefit. But if we want to make it the last, we'll do it now. It's true. We could, but it's not a function of just hyperbolic expressions. There has to be people who are in action to make it. I usually talk about China. China didn't get here until they decided, after the Opium War, where they were humiliated, that China will never go back until they make progress. But I don't think that is a point that Nigerians have gotten to that epiphany where they said, this is the last time we will allow ourselves to be humiliated in elections like this. I don't think that decision has been made yet. But it's not too late to make that decision. There's still time, plenty of time.
Your friend, Nasir El-Rufai, is in the news. Suddenly he's become, a victim of state persecution, even though he was, in fact, he played a major role in bringing the president into office. Do you see him as a colleague, or is just infighting?
Look, I know a lot of these guys, and I was introduced to them because I was doing Sahara Reporters. And Sahara Reporters has a way of bringing people, pushing people away and bringing people close, depending on which spectrum of the political ray you are. And I met El-Rufai through Nuhuri Badu, interestingly. When Yaradua was in power, they were driven out of the country, and Ibori was dealing with Nuhuri Badu. And so they came to the US, and so I was relating with them. So I didn't have that kind of relationship you say with your friend, but I did relate with these guys. A lot of Nigerian politicians knew how genuine I was and related with me on those levels. I think the reason most of them respect me is because they know that my position will not change simply because we're friends or I've met you before or we're acquaintances. So that's the thing. But to your question, is that him feeling like he's a victim, I've answered it earlier. What El-Rufai is going through now is what El-Rufai did to people when he was governor of Kaduna State. El-Rufai even confessed that he knew about a young person who was critical of his government and out of Kano who disappeared. And that he knows the policeman who carried out the disappearance, and the man is in Ekiti. Yes, El-Rufai once told you that he was paying bandits so that they can leave people alone. And he turns around and said, no, he didn't remember when he said that he never paid bandits, he didn't negotiate with terrorists. El-Rufai is a product of the Nigerian political system. But before you get carried away too much, they will be back with themselves. If the negotiation has not started already. They don't have such fundamental disagreements as to have you so excited that you forget where you are coming from. That's why I cannot sit down with the ADC people. Because 3 years ago, they were the ones who forced this country to its knees. The Malamis, the El-Rufais, the Pantamis. They're the guys who sent me to DSL. I spent 5 months and seized my passport.
Now, some have said that what El-Rufai is going through right now is a warning shot to other opposition political figures. Are you afraid that you're a target? Are you worried that you may be...
It's a warning shot to those who are practicing small time opposition. Do you know how many times I was arrested last year? 5. The IG of police instituted 5 criminal cases against me last year alone. No one of them even mentioned my name, right? By yesterday, the IG has sued me 3 times again. So these are small-time politicians. They are discomforted because they are not used to what they have been exposed to, And you can say that maybe they are getting a dose of their own medicine, but I'm not in the business of vengeance. I'm in the business of fundamental rights. That's why when El-Rufai's passport was seized at the airport, I condemned it. You have no right to be seizing people's passports, whether they're living in the country. That passport belongs to him. But I cannot prevent the government if genuinely the government, for instance, wants to retrieve the 433 billion naira he stole, they claim he stole from him. I'm anti-corruption. But do it the right way. Don't play games with our intelligence. And we know that they're not interested in fighting corruption. So this is just the excuse to muzzle the opposition. I don't have any doubt about that. But I also don't have any doubts about the fact that these guys have dirty hands, including the people who are after them.
I believe that someday, a Messiah will come, a president that Nigeria really needs to redeem and to put things in place. There's still hope, you know. At the end of the tunnel, we'll still get the light. Out of the black pot, we'll still get the white pap. So, guys, there's hope, plenty of hope. See you on the other side, guys. Remember to subscribe.